Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. I decided to do a little fun video. I saw this article. I thought it was actually quite interesting to kind of put things into perspective. This is two things. I think a lot of times when we are in a current situation, a lot of people not that they can't, we sometimes cannot see a bit further ahead and as to exactly where things are going to go, especially after drops in the prices of nearly every single, if not all, every single cryptocurrency that is kind of out there. And also, there's also the idea that, once again, that a lot of people believe that you need an enormous amount of money to be able to invest. And I'm glad I found this article because it is the exact opposite. So the entire point of this article is if you were investing just $1 a day in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, what you would have made over time. It says investing as little as $1 every day into Bitcoin over 5 years, 5-year period, $1 every day, would have yielded an incredible 12x return. According to James Todaro, the managing director at Blocktown Capital, an investment of only $1,858 into Bitcoin, that is $1 a day over 5 years, would now be worth over $22,000, even when accounting for Bitcoin's violent price swings. I've had a couple of people, I mean, it's been people on the channel, it's been people in real life, it's been people who I've met all over the place, people who ask me in the comment section, how much do they put into the cryptocurrency market? And I always say, do not put more than you could afford to lose, ever. If you put money into the cryptocurrency market and it goes to zero tomorrow, you should wake up, still be able to go about your day and not be completely depressed for the rest of your life. It even goes further to the entire, if you don't have $10,000 to put into the market every single month, because I think this also discourages a lot of people because people sometimes want an entire Bitcoin. It's the idea that if you had just put $1 a day, $1, and I'll even put it to you this way. Nearly everyone out there over the course of the last 5 years has bought frivolous items that they did not need, did not really want. They were buying it to impress somebody else. New car, new hat, new shoes, new TV, new all these other things. No one needs 5 TVs in a 2-bedroom apartment. Just throwing that out there. 1,850 would now be worth 22,000 even with prices going down. Following its spectacular crash in December of 2017, the term long-term and stable have been increasingly hard to associate with Bitcoin. While many see its violent price swings as proof that it's nothing more than a speculative asset, Bitcoin is one of the best safe haven assets out there. According to Todaro, even the smallest investment in Bitcoin yielded incredible returns. Todaro created a visualization of what investing $1 a day into Bitcoin over the past 5 years would look like, showing that even Bitcoin's most dramatic price drops haven't affected its return on investment. Here is the chart right here. $1 a day. His graph showed that if you would have put $1 a day into Bitcoin for 5 years, from February 2015 to February 2020, the investment would have shown a 12x return. That is, $1,800 would have been $22,263. Here's the, it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. The fact that even with prices completely slamming into the ground and Bitcoin going from 20,000 back to 3,000, you still would have made $21,000? It's insane. The world's second largest cryptocurrency, this is also good, Ethereum, proved to have a much lousier investment than Bitcoin, but stay with me on this one. According to our calculations, investing $1 per day into Ether for 4 years. Because I think Ether officially came out around I think it came out for 2015. Anyway, the point is, $1 per day in Ethereum for 4 years, from February 2016 to the 1st of February 2020, would have cost around $1,461 US, giving you 46 Ether, which is still more than enough to even get you a to allow you to stake on your own. It says that current Ether prices, the investment would now be worth around $9,021. While a 6x return is certainly a significant one, it pales when compared to Bitcoin's 12x. And I'll still even put that into perspective for you. For those of you who don't know, many moons ago, at one point, Ethereum was worth around 50 cents per coin. And I remember when it started to get big, air quotes, was when Ethereum was around $4 to $8. In 2017, Ethereum went from, I think, $5 to $8 to, I think, what was it, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 per coin, which is also absolutely insane. And I find the way that this article is written to also be, I don't want to use the word comical, but it's interesting that even a 6x return kind of is like, well, it's only 6x. I'll even add some zeros onto these numbers. Imagine if you bought a house that was $146,000. That's adding some zeros over here. And over the course of 4 years, the place that you bought for less than $150,000 ended up being worth $902,000 US. You'd be pretty gosh darn happy. So even if, I mean, there's no other asset class like cryptocurrencies. Normally, when we hear about the gains or the money that has been made from cryptocurrency, it normally focuses on Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the name of the game. We know how that entire thing works. But even when you look at the other coins and how well they've done, it's mind-boggling. There are very few stocks. There are no bonds. There are very few mutual funds, and even hedge funds typically don't do as well over the course of, it usually takes about a good 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I want to say 7 to 10 years for a hedge fund to really perform like that. Here's the Ethereum chart as well. It says, however, even Bitcoin's insane return is put to shame by that of XRP. Ripple's native cryptocurrency hasn't been known for its ability to hold value long term, but rather its ability to settle transactions quickly and efficiently. Nevertheless, $1 invested every day from the 2nd of February in 2015 to the 2nd of February in 2020 in XRP would have been $1,823, which would have given you 117,640 XRP, which would still be around $29,400. That's 16x from the original investment. For those of you who don't know, and this is not to depress you, I saw when XRP was less than 1 cent. I remember, I think it was a third of 1 cent per XRP. And I remember at the end of 2017, when all the prices had gone completely insane, I did the calculations and I realized just how much money, first of all, everything is 2020 in hindsight, but I realized just how much money I should have almost exclusively put just into XRP. And wait, it was XRP, Litecoin, and Ether. I think even Litecoin went from $4. What was it? Was it $200 or $300 that Litecoin had also gone up to, which is also just completely. If we ever have a bull run like that again over the course of 1 year, can you imagine even if coins did going from 4 to 400 is a 100x, even if we have a 10 or 20x at current prices, things would get very interesting very, very fast. The entire point is, if you decide to be in the cryptocurrency space, do not be discouraged and think that you need to invest an astronomical amount of money. I know many people who have put huge amounts of swaths of money into the cryptocurrency space, and they have done well for themselves. But also realize that we are talking about the potential beginning of a brand new asset class that tons of millionaires and billionaires have openly come out in support of, talking about where all of this could go. I don't really want to get into price predictions. It's more like if you had done this, and this goes, I mean, now that I'm even thinking about it, this goes exactly to what I always say. Try if you can to think about your future. I know that sounds stupid, or everyone's going, well, of course I do. A lot of people do not. A lot of people don't think in perspective of how far things could go. For those of you who are here for one of my very, very early, if not one of my very first videos, we had a discussion of, there was a company who, I think they were calculating how much that people spent daily on Starbucks. And when you read through the numbers, it was kind of like, it seems logical, but then you kind of go through the numbers and it's completely out there. I think they said on average, many people, and I even put it more so, if you live in a state, a country, a city where there's like a Starbucks every single block, they said normally people will wake up, they'll go to Starbucks, they'll get a coffee, drink, whatever. It's around $4 or $5 roughly. By the time the day is over, they want more coffee, so they get another Starbucks. That's around $10 a day, $300 per month. What is that? $3,600 by the end of the year that you've spent exclusively on getting Starbucks. And that's, I mean, I know people say that they need coffee, but to put that into perspective, imagine if over the course of a year, if over the course of 5 years, you would have put $1,800 into XRP. Imagine if you had put $3,600 just 1 year in 2015, not having bought any coffee, how much money you would have. Yeah, I find things like that very interesting. And once again, more so, over the course of 5 years, a lot of people have bought things that they did not need, did not want, should have returned. That kind of sits in the corner or in your basement or in your something, in a drawer that you've never opened. All this wasted money. I have so many things in the house that when I used to sell heavier on eBay, I still have a couple of things around the house that I'm still working on selling all the time. Because this is just money that's laying around the house. Like, look at things around your house that you don't need as cash just sitting there. Can you imagine if you walked into your room and the things that you didn't need were just cash on your dresser? Imagine walking into your room or into the living room and you saw $800 laying on the table. You would pick up that money as quick as possible, and you would completely lose your mind and wonder why all your stuff disappeared and now just became cash. The point being, for those of you not looking at the screen, this happened just a couple of weeks ago. Over the last 10 years, Bitcoin rose, or it gains. If you had bought Bitcoin at the very beginning, it rose by 8.9 million%. That's not a fake number. That's an actual percentage gain that Bitcoin had from the very beginning. You still even have a lot of analysts talking about that they believe or foresee that Bitcoin could still do a 100x from where it currently is right now if the same trend continues and we still have more people getting into the cryptocurrency space every year. You know what a 100x is on Bitcoin? That is a lot of money. I'm not going to do the exact number right now because Bitcoin is also fluctuating. 9 million%. This one says, if you bought $1,000 of Ripple in 2017, here's what it would have been worth today. Ripple went up, or XRP, still 2017 words, went up by 36,000% in 2017. I think, wait, what was the number? If you had put $1,000 into XRP when it was less than 1 cent, I think you would have gotten 100,000 or like 120,000 XRP or something like that. By the end of the year, when it was over $3, you would have had roughly around, it was $3.60. You would have had roughly $420,000 from 1,000 that you had put into it. Now imagine if you had, here's the scarier part. Imagine if you had put $10 a day into XRP, or if you had put 1,000 per year, even during the beginning of 2017. You would have made around $1.5 million from $3,000. Insane. Like, I actually had to find the words in my mind. And the same exact thing for Ether. There were a lot of articles that like fell around the middle of 2017 as far as prices, and even Ethereum had a 3,000% gains just by the summer. It's more to keep things into perspective. We get these numbers now because time has passed. Try to always, and I know it's difficult, but it should not be because it's your future. Think about the future. Think about selling things in your house that you do not need, that potentially bring you more money. The last thing you want is, imagine 5 years from now, we have another conversation. If you had bought $1 a day of Bitcoin in 2020, how much money you would have right now? You don't want to look at the things in your house angrily saying, I wish I had spent you or sold you or whatever. Do it now. If you have crap in your house that you don't need, if you have stuff, if you have an extra, if it's just you and your wife and you have 4 cars, might be time to rethink financially what's going on, because yeah, I thought this was interesting. I'm glad that the math was done so that we could put everything into perspective. I know this is going to help a lot of people. I know a lot of people will not pay attention to it, but for those of you that got help from this, big thumbs up, and I'll see you in 5 years when we go over these numbers once again. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Never stop investing. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.